there's certainly always a lot to get to, especially since we've been off for the last couple of weeks. I think the first story today that we will go with is Jenna Ellis,
Sure.
the former attorney for Donald Trump, who gussied herself up, put on all kinds of makeup with a big old smile
Yeah.
in her mugshot. She was carefree. She laughed at everything, thought it was hilarious, and that Jesus was going to save her. Apparently, either Jesus didn't get the message, or maybe Jesus is looking down and going, no, this is not the thing that I'm going to save you with.
Right.
Or maybe it's just not a Jesus. It's possible. But anyway, Jenna is the third person in the Georgia trial that is Fani Willis.
Fourth. It's fourth. That she's fourth.
That's right. Yeah, who is that's right. It's so you have Kenneth Cheesebro or Cheesebro, Chesbro. Cheesebro sounds better. I mean, Cheesebro is what we're going with. Yeah, he's a Cheesebro. Come on. Of course, Sidney Powell, who was releasing the Kraken at one point, is now yet another former Donald Trump associate that is in tears.
Yesterday, right? Just yesterday was
I think that was last week.
Or was it last week? See,
yeah, it was last week when she
cannot rely on me apparently, because my time, I don't know what is today.
And you're right. There is a fourth one, and I meant to ask you who.
His name is Hall. Was he one of the? I don't know. He's not an attorney. Hold on. Because I just looked at his name because I wanted to know his name is Scott Hall.
Scott Hall. Okay.
I want to think, was he an elector, or did he have something to do with the electors? Or
there was at least 18 people that were charged in this crime, the RICO case, and and again, I think the initial strategy with Kenneth Cheesebro and Sidney Powell was to request a speedy trial. And they thought that was a good strategy because what they thought that was going to do was make Fani Willis panic and either drop the case or delay it or whatever the case was or whatever their plan was. And Fani Willis was so prepared for this. She was like, yeah, sure. Let's speed it up. And when that happened, it basically screwed almost pretty much everybody. And now, because of that, Kenneth Cheesebro and Sidney Powell had basically said, kind of fucked here. She's got the goods on us. Let's get as little penalty as we possibly can. And it appears as if that's what Jenna Ellis is doing. And I think we're probably running out of witnesses that are going to get a nice deal out of this. I believe probation has been the...
Yeah, right. The guy was Scott Hall. He's a bondsman.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Yep.
I don't know what.
Imagine this guy, a bondsman.
But he was the first guy to flip. He's like, oh, I'm just a bondsman. I'm trying to keep being able to do my job, so I'm just gonna leave. Right? I don't know what's happening with the brother and the sister there, like what they holding out for, because y'all black.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I mean, and it's pretty clear that at somewhere, some way, somehow, at some point, Donald Trump has some sort of hold on people. If they feel like they want to be involved, if they feel like, this is, it's up for a purpose, it's for whatever it is, he's got some sort of hold on them to get them to do whatever he wants. And I think a lot of that has to do with, I mean, we do have a right-wing media that is so misleading that makes people think that what they are saying is true. And when they hear this, they're getting it's part of the good fight. And Donald Trump convinces you, just like he convinced banks back in the past, that he has money to lend me money. Same thing. Don't worry about it. We're good. Nothing's illegal. You do it. You're fine. And, at some point, I'm hoping, at least at this point, anybody that gets involved with Donald Trump is going to say, you know what, I might be out on this one.
Yeah. I'm thinking a few more of those defendants are going to flip. Like, I think next week is going to be a big week. Like, I just think so, because they probably only have about a week before she starts closing the deal, because she's going to have as much as she needs. Like, if you can't offer me anything different, why am I talking to you right now? Like, it doesn't make sense. Now you go to jail. That's why I was saying, like, that guy, what's her name? Trivian Kuti, the one that was Kanye West's whatever she was, promoter, whatever, and trying to force
wasn't she with a big smile too?
Yeah, crazy smile, looking like the Joker. And you know what I mean, trying to force Shay Moss and Lady Ruby, you know what I mean, to say that they were doing something that what they weren't supposed to be doing. Like, you're in trouble for that.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
What, like, there's nothing to gain by not telling. Like, at this point, like, you're crazy. Jenna Ellis has flipped. The Kraken lady has flipped.
Yeah.
You gotta be.
The cheese bro has flipped.
Right. Your attorney has got to be saying, you need to take, and you know what? Who knows? Right now, they may be talking and trying to get the right deal for them or whatever, because there's no way her and that other guy and some more of these people aren't going to be like, oh, forget this, because it's crumbling. Like, these are big people. These are bigger fish.
Yeah, there's absolutely no question. And, you're exactly right when you say that. I think Fani Willis is sort of running out of patience with people who are not on board. It appears to me that even from the get-go, before all of this, that she was 100% prepared for this trial and for this case. And for the most part, I can't imagine any good prosecutor does not come with a trial like this without being fully and 100% prepared.
Right.
And not to mention, the good news for her, unlike a lot of other prosecutions where you have to prepare against the top of the best attorneys, she was preparing against a bunch of clowns, which made this way easier for her. Way easier. Not that she couldn't have done it anyway.
Right. No, it's so true. But, we've all seen, like, attorney movies. Like, we know how this works. It works. I don't do criminal law, but we do civil. We know how it works. You go back and forth and you mediate, right? So the same is what she's doing. She's like, hey, I have this. I have this proof. I'll give you a deal. Like, she knew she was doing that the whole time. She said 19 defendants that she had. She was going to go to certain people and say, this is the evidence I have against you. If you, flip now, you get probation. This is a felony. If you don't flip now, you're going to jail. This is a felony.
Yeah.
I'm giving you probation for a felony.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a good deal to me, because there's, because I'm guessing that as crazy as they may be, when it comes down to it and they see that the proof that they have on everybody, your crazy turns into logic maybe when you're forced to do it. When you're not forced to do it, that's what happens when the Kanye West lady and all these people, when your logic is not forced, then your crazy takes over. But when your logic is forced, crazy sort of like, oh, that's probably the best way to reverse crazy.
Seriously. It's like, you see Jenna Ellis's she's crying because she's so nervous, and she's also relieved that she got this deal. Those tears are more of relief. And she was not crying for the state of Georgia, what she did to y'all. She don't care. She was just relieved that she was not going to jail.
No question about it for you. And Lana, I have a treat for you and anybody else that has not seen it. We are going to watch Jenna Ellis cry in front of the judge, yet another Trump associate in front of a judge, weeping like a, do I say little bitch? Or that's probably not the right thing to say.
Yeah,
not to the, weeping like a what? Baby. There we go.
Baby.
I did not say little bitch. I just want to clarify that.
I said it.
But
there we go.
Lana said it. Let's watch Jenna Ellis cry like a little baby in front of the judge.
Seriously?
Yeah.
And I endeavor to be a person of sound moral and ethical character in all of my dealings. In the wake of the 2020 presidential election, I believed that challenging the results on behalf of President Trump should be pursued in a just and legal way. I endeavored to represent my client to the best of my ability. I relied on others, including lawyers with many more years of experience than I, to provide me with true. Very serious.
Sorry, and that's the classic blaming somebody else for what you did. But hold on, I think I messed this up. But we'll get
attorneys.
I believed that challenging the results on behalf of President Trump should be pursued in a just and legal way. I endeavored to represent my client to the best of my ability. I relied on others, including lawyers with many more years of experience than I, to provide me with true and
I don't know why it keeps doing that, but you get the picture.
Because
yeah,
she's full of shit.
Yeah, I kept stopping there. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But am I not mistaken? Was Jenna Ellis like a parking ticket sort of attorney? She's not. I mean, she's not a criminal attorney.
And it doesn't matter. She's still an attorney. You don't, just because you endeavored into this, nobody told you to do this, right?
No, I agree with that. That's 100%. And you should be smart enough not to.
Yeah, and then she's gonna blame it on more season. What attorney gets to do that? You don't get to do that before you're disbarred. Like, well, they told me. No, you have due diligence to do your own research before you sign your name and go on TV speaking stuff that is not true. Like, well, he told me. You're an attorney.
Well, let me tell you something. You're exactly right, Lana. And you know what's funny is that for public citizens like you and I that are not attorneys, when we break the law, or let's say we're speeding and a cop pulls you over and you said, I didn't know the speed limit, ignorance of the law does not get you out of it. And when you're an attorney and you have ignorance of the law, that's just fucking crazy.
Right. I mean, then somebody needs to file a complaint and get her bar license taken away, because I can't even believe somebody must be going to do that, because I looked today to see if she still had it, and it looks like she still does. So hopefully that's gone soon.
I can't imagine that she will, but she is now a felon. She can't vote. She can't own a gun. She can't, and it's all this stuff that, and it's, oh my God, between COVID deaths and arrests of these MAGA people, they're losing voters left and right. I mean, because they just don't want to listen to logic. And you would think at some point, again, like I said earlier, logic should reverse crazy. And in some cases it is, hasn't yet with some other cases, but I think at some point it's just going to have to. And we have talked about this before. 2024 is going to be the wildest year this country has ever seen. It is going to be incredibly wild. And what's going to happen? I have no idea. But what I am hoping is what is happening now is that fucking logic takes over crazy and we reverse this crazy shit that's going on in this country.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's like, how many Republicans, like, we're still on, like, Trump is here because Republicans, right? Like, they testified against him. They did all, like, it's all Republicans, and now Republicans are flipping on him, right? So what do Trump supporters say? Well, the DOJ is making them do this. It's like, what?
Well, That's classic sort of dictator language. Is you blame everybody else. You blame the Justice Department. You blame the media. You blame everybody else. You blame the deep state Democrats. These deep state Democrats are looking kind of weird because they're all Trump people. None of them are Democrats. Almost nobody that's testified against them.
Name one.
What they're saying is that, well, the Democrats are the ones that are prosecuting this. So first of all, the first question is, if you're, let's say, a Democratic prosecutor, are you not allowed to prosecute any Republicans? Is that how that works?
Well, how do we know the Democrats? Because no one has ever said that Jack Smith is a Democrat, and I don't think that he is.
Yeah, and who knows? And you know what? At the end of the day, I am of the belief, and I may be naive, but I am of the belief that the top Justice Department people care about one thing and one thing only, and it's in the title, is justice.
Right.
They don't care who you are. They don't care what you do.
Right.
I truly believe that. And if I'm a sucker, I'm a sucker.
No,
but somehow prove it to me that it's not true.
But we have proof, right? Because the same Democrats in the DOJ have indicted Menendez. He is a Democrat.
Right.
So obviously that's not true that it's only, and guess who's supporting someone who's been indicted? Republicans again are supporting a Democrat because why? He's a criminal?
Yeah. Yep. Again, listen, again, I don't know what's going on, and it just is, sometimes it just makes you crazy.
Yeah.
And I think, the fact that we can talk about this each week is almost therapy more than it is anything, because, I mean, God, dog. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting time, and